Well, I'm hoping I'm live. Fingers crossed that you can indeed see me. I have no idea if I'm actually physically live yet on the internet, so I'm just going to start speaking and wait until someone pings me and says, "Hey, you're live on the internet. Well done, congratulations. You're late. Where are you?" So let's just get confirmation, and we shall go on from there. I just we're here. We've got 9 watching, so hopefully I can be seen. Yeah. So we'll just give it a minute, let a few people find us, let it get live. The bottle is now online, and we can get on with this evening's show. How exciting is this? Apart from the fact that I'm late. Let's just say hello. Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Can see you and hear you. Well, Dan, I'm really, really sorry about that, mate. That's really bad on your part. Well, in that case, then I'm just going to turn you off. As much as I love you. Hey, look, it's Happy Air on. As much as I love you, I've just turned the whole thing off. So my Telegram is now off. Which is probably a silly thing, really, because this thing could come out and I won't know about it. Anyway, so Lost Souls just post the URL. Thank you very much for that. Good evening, everybody. Indeed, here we are live in the GGP Help Studios. I've got this wonderful background behind me. I thought I'd try that out. Reason why I'm late, wardrobe malfunction. Turns out that Bottle, whilst has been sat at home on his ass doing not very much for the last year and a half, has got so big that his extra large shirt that he wears goes up around the neck. Lovely. 3 buttons down and it doesn't go up anymore. So quite clearly old running coach Liam, clearly not been running. But anyway, so here we are. Here I am, not with many clothes to wear. Right, so PFS. How exciting is that? It's crazy. Who's pinging me now? I'll tell you what, we'll turn that off. Oh my word. Okay. Well, thank you very much, whoever that was. There's a coffee for you. That's cheers to you. The PFS, the pre-feasibility study. It often boggled my mind why we would need to have a pre-feasibility study and a feasibility study. Like, it's almost like having a meeting to have a meeting to have a meeting. That's not getting annoying, is it? If that gets annoying, we'll turn it off and I'll show you my dodgy sheet that I put up. This is that there, isn't it? Oh dear. Okay. So yeah, pre-feasibility study. I'm guessing it's because a feasibility study is so damned expensive to carry out to see if it works that they kind of decided many, many years ago that they really needed to do a smaller one to see if is it actually worth doing the feasibility study. And when we look at what we're going to see, we got to find out things about, look at how much it's going to cost us to get to the ordinarily that's with a decline usually. How much it's going to take to build the processing plant. We've already got one of those. How much it's going to cost us to get it to Telfer, depending on. Oh gosh, you guys, seriously, thank you so much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, that really is generous of you to be making my phone go crazy like that. I tell you what, I would love if you just smash that subscribe button. Don't worry about hitting the bell or the notifications. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Let's see if I can get it up to 620 by the end of the evening. That'd be amazing. An extra 20, extra 4 followers. I'd love that. Yeah, that's kind of how I see the pre-feasibility study. The important numbers that we're looking for really for us is the all-in sustained cost. How much is it going to cost us to get the gold to the final product? And when you look at Newcrest, I think their average cost across the entire group is something like $952 an ounce, something like that. I mean, I could be wrong a few dollars either way, but it's about $950. Telfer's is really quite high at the moment, somewhere between $1,200 to $1,400, and obviously that's a lot when you've got what the price is at the moment, 17 1760 at the last look. I'm not entirely sure. So, the lower we can get this all in sustained cost, the more valuable it's going to be to us as a company, because what with our 30% of it, and then when you look at the other things that are going on in the world, as sad as it sounds and sad as it seems, with interest rates, inflation, and all the things that are going on in the United States, and that's where we're really looking, isn't it? Because they're the things that really do affect the price of gold. And when you get to that really high price of gold, the profits they're making per ounce of gold it's mind-boggling. It's mind-blowing. I mean, someone like me, I grew up on a council estate in Essex. My parents worked damn hard, as I'm sure folks did across the world. But yet we never had mega amounts of money. Not this is about me, but there are people all over this world that are in that same situation, that are just working, and they're about to get screwed so badly with the price of everything as it goes inflation wise, and we got to prosper, and that's the bit that kind of like, wah! So I've kind of decided that I will be actually taking a hell of a lot more food to a food bank once this is all said and done, because this is really the only thing I think I can do without really making this a massive complex thing in my head. But anyway, I digress. So I figured what I would do is, before the ASX went live, I'd just bring it up on a page and I'd let you see it, apart from the fact I just killed it. So if I do that, and we're on Zoom today, so if I do that and then I share my screen 1, and share sound. Let's just try this. Share. So hopefully you can now my screen. He says yes. So what I'm expecting to see, and what I do every day, and this is kind of what I'm going to do. If nothing comes out, you get to watch me. I'm just going to go through everything and show you what I do on a daily basis, just to go. So there's no announcements yet. Okay. Was expecting to see some. Hello. Maybe they have not started yet. Normally, they've this time of night they've been coming out, because I've been checking it to make sure that they do come out. Okay, fair enough. If that's not going to work, then we shall go for... Oh, look, we've got a pre-feasibility studies overview. Oh. I wonder what that was. That's that. Well, that's not really very helpful, is it? So, raw data. This is where we go to get the raw data. We go to the London Stock Exchange website, and we go to Trade Recap, and what you get down here is a nice little download file. And then when you open it up, you get all the trades for today. So you can see, let's close that, in reverse order, the trades that have come through for today. So there's our UT. Now note that this is in Zulu or GMT, so it is out by an hour, and the exchange doesn't report buys and sells; it only reports trades, which in some ways I think is better, because then you're looking at it from an unbiased point of view. Even though we do love to know what's a buy and what's a sell, but really the exchange just sees it is a trade, because because of the fact that I don't necessarily sell direct to you. If I was to sell 1,000 shares and you was to buy 1,000 shares, you wouldn't necessarily we wouldn't buy and sell to each other, would we? We'd sell via the market maker majority of the time. So the market maker, for all intents and purposes, is the person you're selling to or selling from. So if we just go to data, sort, volume, largest to smallest, you can see these are all the big trades of today. And unusually, 122. Da, da, da. Here. So if I just like to have a look at this figure down here. It's really not that. It's 19 million. Yeah, 19 million shares, over 100,000. And I like to look at the average price. So we're looking at 21.88 on the average price for today, which is actually pretty high. It's pretty good. I appreciate it's high compared to the last 9 months, but 21.88 is a good average price. And when you look at the percentages on my charts, that's the price that we're actually adding and subtracting from. I don't look at the highest or the lowest. I just look at the average, the average for the day, and that's where I'm taking my percentages from. So yes, other things to look at. So you can see that this has been published by Echo, off the book. So that is a trade that stands out. This particular one here, price P, that's one that they've actually used as a pricing benchmark. I'm not quite sure what the criteria is for a new price benchmark, but they do quite often set a new thing. And then somewhere down here, let's say all the way to the bottom, so you can tell there's no trading 212s because it's all AIM and ECU. So the ECU, actually no, there it is, there's one. That right there will be a trading 212 trade because of the fact that trading 212 is in I want to say Bulgaria, I could be wrong, it's one of the European countries. So it's come off the ECU computer, for want of a better word, and SINT. So as far as I am aware, they tend to be the trading 212 shares, and every now and again you'll get a scutch of them all come through at the same time as they've released all the ones that people have been waiting to get on for a few days. I can't remember what NILQ is. There's an NILQ, and that looks like that's it. So yeah, that's 1,845 trades. Look at that for the day. Crazy. Oh, there you go. Look, trading 212. We just released them all in one batch. Bush, done. Right. Okay. Enough of that. I've downloaded that, so that's my data done for the day. Might as well just save that. So, thank you. Yes, get rid. Okay. So, other things that we can look at while we are here, while you're just watching me waffle on, is EOS.com, and every 5 days the Sentinel satellites fly overhead, and different parts of the world give better coverage than others. I've noticed certain countries around the equator, actually you don't get the coverage as well as you do in other places. Australia, especially the Patterson, how lucky are we? They are almost like clockwork, and the coverage is really, really good. So I've got them set up and saved so that if we look at Havens Scally, so there's the Havieron and Scallywag tenements. All of a sudden I'm paranoid that it's not working. So I've just opened. Can someone just ding me, please? And if I'm still broadcasting and it's working fine, because I'm paranoid all of a sudden that this is just futile. I'm just talking to myself for no reason at all. So this here is Javieron, and then this bit here is obviously Scallywag, and this is Black Hills. So we're going to look at the scenes. The last one we had was the 7th. So see, can you see there at the bottom of the screen where it's not blue? That's where the edge of the satellite cuts off. So we actually get 2 satellite passes that just about catch the Javieron tenement. So we do is we click that, we download that. All good. Thank you very much, Terry. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you indeed, sir. Thank you. Right. Close that. So yes, here we are, Javieron. I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb now. If we zoom back a bit. So if you're looking for, if you come on to EOS.com to have a look around, find Australia, right? Find Perth, which is quite some way away, and then come and find this knobbly bit up here, okay, and then come due south, and all you're looking for, what I look for, is this line of water here and this national park. Okay, that steers me, because in this area, if you sort of see this little dip and you come up, what will stick out like a sore thumb to you very quickly is Telfer. All right, there's Telfer. This massive, I believe it's water, this massive pool of water here. It's very, very easy to see. And as you can see, we're not actually that far away from it. What I look for then is, once I've started to zoom in, I look for these two basically. Though Javieron will probably stick out enough now with all the white stuff that you've got you've got on there, which is fair enough. So yeah, here's Javieron, and it's overexposed. So I tend to just do some contrast stretching just to darken it down a bit, just so that I can get a bit more detail. So here's the portal. Here's the waste rock landfill, WRL. Yes. Here's the staging area. So this is where they've been put in, like they bring everything in. This area here, I believe, is where they make the shotcrete. There's a shotcrete plant just there. This is all new. This is very interesting. This was only cleared a few days ago, and we know it was only cleared a few days ago because if we come up here, we can split the scene in half. We'll come back to the 2nd of October and wait for that to load. So now we've got, let's just contrast stretch that too. So now we can actually compare two screens together. So when you look at this area just here, you can see that, and that's as close as I can get, but you can see that has changed quite significantly. Wait. Why does... I don't want to be casting aspersions, but why does that look like that's going downhill? Like, that surely can't be something we didn't know about. Like, can someone find Paddy, please? I want to ask him about that. Like, I mean, surely that's got to just be bush or brush, and that's just it cleared. But honestly, look, just this bit here, just here, that looks like it's angled. Let's hope it's not, and it's just the way it is. So we have the camp, and that changes quite frequently, and everything. Something that we quite often look at and talk about, Paddy and I, is this area here. Because where you've got the decline, this is going to turn and it's kind of going to come this way. So somewhere along this area here, you're going to get the air stuff. And I say stuff, it really isn't stuff. It's the big fans and the air conditioning units and the really important things that supply the air to the mine. It's really, really important. I can't remember what the name of it is. So I don't even know if you can see me. But I'm staring into the camera saying that. So as you can see, on the 2nd of October, there's not much there. And then on the 7th, we had these two fairly large things appear. So who knows what they are? Who knows what they are? And who knows if that's actually how far they've got? Like there's a water table down there, and there's so much water and there's so much going on that it's hard to just turn around and say, well, this area here is where they are. I'm not sure it's necessarily that simple. Here's Javieron, and this changes every time I look at it. So at the moment, you've got this lot here. They're still drilling the bejesus out of. I mean, they've been drilling this area, this for ages. But as you can see, they are now significantly east. So that's eastern. That's got to be the eastern breccia being looked at there. And then we have this one here. Well, there's something there. There's something there. Sometimes you have to kind of go back a bit longer on. You got something here. Something here. That's one of the new ones. You got Zipper and the other one. And then when you come all the way up here, now you see me, now you don't. That is Artemis. They've arrived. They are, I'm not sure that's quite ready, but you're going to get a drilling announcement at some point. There's the camp. So that's still growing in size. So it's all good, really. And then I just want to check ASX. I'm annoyed that after all that work of mine, checking the dates and the times and stuff, that I'm probably on air an hour early. Hey, it's better to be an hour early than an hour late, I suppose. I was 15 minutes late anyway. So, yeah. Oh, here we go. See, they're coming through now. So we need to keep an eye on that page. So, the announcements have started. my 24 minutes past has gone, as per usual. So then we've got Scallywag. Now, finding where we are at the moment is really tough. I'm finding it hard to find them. There's a road that bends round. Here it is. I'd love to know what this area looks like. And in fact, it's hiding under cloud, so you can't actually see it, but they're there. There are the drills, the main camp that appeared maybe a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago, possibly, which is great. So that's under Black Hills. You've got some drill pads up here, here, here. And what I'm looking forward to, well, not looking forward to, but is if we come into here. Here's the road. This is our road to Telfar. This is the way to Telfar, Telfar. Don't sing, Liam. You'll only embarrass yourself. Too late. You can run north here now. These two here, this is where they're going to drill next, soon. Now, I can't pronounce it, so I just keep calling it Arch. But I think it's Artusus, squid face, basically. That's right there. Now that I don't think was much of a magnetic anomaly at all. However, look where it runs. I don't want to be casting aspersions here. We know this is a northwest run, right? We know that it runs in a northwesterly direction. So don't want to like build anyone's hopes up, but it's kind of in the right place. Eek. Okay. So, and then you've got some of the guys. There was some holes being Black Hills. Here we go. Some work going on up here, outside of Black Hills. And then this is where the Black Hills camp was. Black Hills stands out like a sore thumb because this all here is bare rock. There's no cover, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So that's kind of EOS. I look at it every 5 days. It's a bit slower to update than some of the websites, but it has been fairly solid for me over the years, especially this function. I mean, I could do this for hours looking, just sort of hunting for a pixel that's changed somewhere. Yeah, that's how you find it. You just have to zoom in and just backwards and forwards like this little black dot here. Now you see me, now you don't. Now it could be there because the color's changed, but anyway, so somewhere else I go. Let's just refresh my announcements. No, nothing just yet. Something else that I've got for you, let me just load it up, is Google Earth. Google Earth's probably going to have a hissy fit now. I've just changed screens. Just let that load up. There's a lot of data. Pause for a brew. Here we go. So, Google Earth. I've spent hours playing with this. And again, it's exactly the same principle. when you're looking for Telfer. I mean, look, you can see Telfer from here. So with Google Earth, I'm looking for this snake. If you can find the snake from space, essentially we're at the end of it. Now, the way I see this, and could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a geologist. I'm not that way inclined at all. I can't help but feel that a bazillion years ago, right, this here, in my mind, massive rock fell out of the sky, right, smashed into the earth, created this huge hole, and then further along, massive crack appeared out of nowhere, right? Split. Where does it end? Oh, just in this Patterson-rich zone where underground, all these cracks and things, all this gold came up. It's probably an absolute BS. But in my mind, that's kind of how it went down a bazillion years ago. Was it 4 billion years ago? Or maybe it's 3. I remember a conversation I was having with someone. So, yeah, anyway. So here are our tenements. You've got Patterson Range East. You've got... Now, we don't actually own all of this. For some reason, when it was downloaded, this is Ruddle. Beg my pardon. It's actually cut off, I think, here. So we don't own this, but it downloaded, and this is what it's given me. But we're actually looking at this magnetic anomaly that is over here that has our interest. This is what looks similarly. Has similarities. I'll get around it that way to Javieron. So yeah, that's that. And then look, just next door, this is our new prospect, our new area, which we've picked up recently. I've got no data in there, I don't think, just yet. Let's take out that one. Pascal, isn't it? Oh, there you go. I do have something. So here's Pascal. And see how this is wedged up against the Wilkie granite. Now, the hydro and magic quite often talk about granites, and they're quite important. I think it's because they're really, really hard, or they're really, really hot, or they're really, really hot and hard. Now, I appreciate that saying something is really, really hot and hard. I apologize to your spouse if they are watching and they've just taken a huge offense to this guy talking about being hot and hard. But it's funny. You could play bottle bingo. Come on, give me some more RNSs, please. They seem to have stalled. So I'm wondering if this area here is this Wilkie prospect is of some significance, of some worthy of looking at. Obviously, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I'm just looking at colours on the screen and deducing that they are worthy of looking at. They are on the right northwest trend. In fact, look, you can almost see. Can you see how that kind of beds in with that? I wonder if that is actually if that's part of it. It's very clever. And there's Telfer off to the side. So Telfer would run off of this area here. It's very interesting. So maybe there's some at surface, maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And these structures follow these lines as well. That's so fascinating when you look at it like that. So, and then here we have, this is a really random, I have no idea where they've got this picture from. Newcrest, and I'm guessing, I'm just going to make this huge assumption that will be completely wrong. I'm just going to make this assumption that Sandeep himself is watching this right now and has been for some time because he knows that I've been scalping his images from his RNSs and various other bits and places because I've noticed the quality of these things has been going downhill since I've been broadcasting. Doesn't necessarily mean that's true. Probably not. They've probably just decided to make the document smaller. But in my little world, that's what's going on here. So let's just go to an older one. Have AM's that one? Oh, no, but that will do. Sound effects. So here are that's actually quite an old one, isn't it? I think that was the one that came out with the scanning news back in January. Pretty sure we've had an updated one since then. No. Why are you doing sound effects, dude? No one wants to know your sound effects. So I love to overlay the images because I think that actually tells us a bigger story. So where we've got, you can kind of see how the picture builds up. Let's just do that, because then when you start adding pictures to pictures, and Artemis are absolute geniuses because we get a lot of info from them. I can never remember which ones are the good ones. So with this one, it kind of helps you to build up a picture of what's really going on. And they could be different depths. They could even be measuring different things. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. But if we start to add some pins as to where we're seeing some draw pads, I've not added these ones up here yet. But it just starts to tell you a story, doesn't it, really? And I can kind of visualize how this is going down. I'm surprised they've not found anything in there, but have they gone deep enough? That's speculation. I don't want to get involved in that. I just want facts tonight. I've had too much speculating today. It blanked out, that one. It's a bit mean, isn't it? That's an old one. That's an old one. That's an old one. Let's take them off. Oh. So what I've done, sorry, I've got my lamp out, which is what is lighting me up, but that part of my screen is hiding behind it, so I'm having to bend my head around. There you go. So I've managed to overlay the decline. So if you just see this here, and then look at that bit there. So you can, let's go with the light version. Just these two here. So if you, down here, we're looking for the lat and the long. So, yeah, I'm not going to remember that. If I've got that right, and who knows, that's over the spiral, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying for a second we're over the spiral. That would be a really silly assumption to make. We should never, ever, 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 ever make assumptions. I don't need to go into detail on that one, but so that's 60 meters to there. Yeah, that's 700. Need to be 760 meters in to be that far down. So we're only going to be, if there was 154, you're going to be looking somewhere around here, realistically, right now, because of how soft it is. That I haven't spoken to Bamps and a few others. The earth is so soft. It's almost like going to the beach and digging a hole, and then actually keeping your tunnel alive. They're having to dig it out very slowly, and then obviously shore it up and support it, and that takes time. But once they get to the hard stuff and they've cleared the water table, because the water table is also another factored problem. I don't want to say another problem, because problems need solutions, and they've probably already thought of a solution 100 years ago. So it just needs sorting. But I'm pretty sure once they get that far, then Burncut can do what Burncut do best and just hammer their way down to the ore body. And before you know it, we'll be down there. I mean, look how quickly this last year's gone. As much as it sucked for the last 9 months, it really has. What's the betting that? Oh, there's another one. Who's that for? AMP. Not us. Okay, well, they're coming very, very slowly, but there are announcements coming out at least. Excuse me. So, yeah, it's slow now, but it will get quicker. I am told it will get quicker. It will get a lot quicker. And there's a lot of things they've got to sort out. They've got to sort out escape tunnels and escape ideas, and get all the air sorted. The ventilation, that's the word we're looking for, the ventilation shaft. Wow, that was painful getting there, wasn't it? So, yeah. Other things we've got in this little box of tricks just here. Oh, no, not that one. If I just do that, that's better. So I quite often like to take these. I think that's actually off slightly. I don't think that's in the right position. In fact, I know that's not in the right position. That looks completely like I've abandoned it. But I take the colour out, take the white background out, and let's see. There's one from April. April should be better positioned. There you go. Look at that. Oh, there you go. So I've done it. I've actually taken it twice and tried to line it up as best I can. So this area here is what we are looking at tonight for our maiden pre-feasibility study. And when you overlay the other one, yeah, I wasn't even close. What was I even thinking? Showing that in public. That's not embarrassing, is it? I wonder if we can... why not? Why the heck not? Let's just line it up. We can do that, surely. Do we need to make it much bigger? Kind of something like that, maybe? Paddy's probably like, oh my god, Bottle, what are you doing? 464000. Look at that, that's not far off, actually. Look down the bottom there, the numbers are there, 21060. Oh, look at that, I'm just off. That'll do for now. So anyway, that's kind of what I do, is I try and line it up as best I can. And then it kind of gives you a visual picture. So we're coming right in to this area here. BAMS says that they will likely put a ring around it, especially when they start going off this northwest area. And then obviously now with this area here, here's your eastern breccia. And then how much further north does it go? I mean, that's the question. There's your two northern holes. So, I mean, they're quite some way away. They're not, if we take it from, I don't know, let's just say there. Why are you not working? Oh, because I've got that open. Sorry. Yes, hello. How are you? Or would you like to work, please? Thank you. So, why is it not working? What have I done to it? Why have I broken it? Seems like I've broken my ruler. How's that fair? Not now I'm live on YouTube. So, I mean, like, it's 1,500 meters. That's a mile. For the sake, there you go, is a mile. So it's 4 minutes away, or less than 4 minutes away, if you are a runner. I'd imagine it'd take you a lot longer than that, but it's a mile, which I guess in mining terms, it's a heck of a long way, isn't it, really? I mean, you'll get at least another 2 of those in. So it's interesting to see what happens as they run north, especially when you've been speaking to Hydro, and with what he's been saying about everything that's going on down there with the magnetite. Who knows? Who knows how big it is? So here's your road. Huh. Didn't realize I coloured that in, but there you go. There's your road. And actually, this has changed now, and actually leads me quite nicely into my next segue, because if you go to dmp.wa.gov.au, it takes you to the Department of Mines and Petroleum. And this place is an absolute minefield of information if you're prepared to sift through it all. Okay? So all the information you will need to do with mining in Western Australia is on this website. It's not always that obvious where to go, but the first place worth checking out is the mining notices, including application advertising. So you open that up. I've lost that one. And I'm just refreshing the ASX announcement, sorry. While this is loaded, it is a slow website, so you have to have some big patience. And you can see all of the applications that have been made. So these are the latest applications that have been made. So FMG Resources have just put in a tenement down in Kalgoorlie. That's brand new. That's of 14:21 yesterday afternoon. Australian time. So what we'll do to make this easy, you go change holder selection. Wait for that to come up. As I say, it's not the fastest of websites, so you have to have a little patience. We'll pop in there Greatland Gold. Greatland. We'll just put in Greatland. Search. I'm giving away all my secrets here, you know. And as you can see, Greatland Pty Limited has got 24 active tenements. So we'll select that. Yes, please. Select holder. And then the dates, you can only do 3 months at a time. So it's a pain in the ass in that part. So as you can see, in the last 3 months, we've not made any tenement applications. However, if we take this back, 1st of June, I'm spitballing now, by the way. I'm absolutely spitballing. I have no idea if this is or if this isn't right. What did I say? 1st of June. So we'll go to the 31st of August. Don't know why I'm doing that in a strange accent, but there we are. Right. Okay. So search and patience. Have a cup of tea. Think about leaving the house. Park life. And here you go. So miscellaneous license 45/6030, which tells me straight away that is actually a road, not anything else. But these are our last, what we applied for. So it's 100% owned. Tells you where to send your Freddo frogs. And it does work because they receive them. So these are ours. Okay. So if we then go into this first one, I'll sign on. More patience required. So this is the emits. This is where you get all the information about it. So this is basically the application in the system that you're now viewing. So it was received on the 2nd of August in the afternoon, and these are all the different things about it. So for instance, you can have a description as about what it is. So, thence proceed to coordinates. So that's just too much information, really. Any relationships? So our relationship was in there with Newcrest. General refresh announcements. I'll be most annoyed if this comes out now and stops me mid-stride. So it cost us $600 to make this application. The Shire is in East Pilbara Shire. We knew that. Grant is once it's allowed. Any conditions that go ahead with it. Dealings. I'm just going to go through these. So dealings is where all the things that have occurred with it since it's been applied for. And as you can see, in all dealing types, we've had an objection. And now what always makes me smile is the fact that we had Newcrest Mining actually lodged an objection on the 6th of September. And then by 3:30 the next day, they'd withdrawn the objection. So that's just quite funny. It's interesting that Antipa have also lodged an objection. But when you look at the map, and this takes a while to load, it appears Google Earth is not working properly. Basically, this yellow line is what they have applied for. You've got the native title, which will update if it ever gets that far, and documents. Now, quite sometimes it's good to go and have a look at the application tracking up here in the top right corner, because this tells you where we're at. So it's been plotted in Tengrove, which is where I get most of my drawings from that end up in my Google Earth. And as you can tell, because of the rejections, there's now a process in place that we have to follow through. I believe that you have to wait, I want to say 60 days, but it might even be 6 months before it can be kicked into the next process. You're now into a process of happening. So I don't look at the camera for. I don't even suppose you can see me. So there's a process to follow with that, which is, it's a shame, but that is essentially the tenement register. And then if we bring up, let's search for, we've come back here again. I didn't want to be back here. Oh well, never mind. So basically, that's how we look when we hear that there's another tenement under application. This is where we come. This is where we find them. We can find out the information about it and how it's going from there. I was actually going to check to see actually. Is it on Google Earth? Yes, it's on Google Earth. So if we bring Google Earth over for you so you can see it, and we'll come all the way back out, and here we go. Here's our new ones that we've just picked up from Province. I want to call them Providence, but they're not. See here, it says East 45 5755. So if we just pop that in, let's close that. We'll go to Mineral Titles Online, which is where we just were, the Mineral Titles Online. And then tenement register. And you go East 45/5755. And then up it pops. So as you can tell, this is the new one that we've picked up, but we've actually got an application in on it, which I was hoping to actually pick it up. But as you can tell, this has gone off to the native title unit, and the MAR2 have put in a claim on it. Now, Telfer or Newcrest have is it 60 kilometers? It might be 60 kilometers. Let's just, that's a long way out, isn't it? 60. There's a 60-kilometer ring that goes around Telfer, which basically means anything inside that has been pre-cleared by Newcrest. So, without bringing Google Earth over just to show you and then take it back in, essentially it covers Rudel, but nothing else. So, but I'm hoping with Greatland Gold, obviously, having Javier on and having met with the MAR2 and had dealings with them, that actually that relationship's already underway. So I'm hoping that now we have them, maybe we could progress these things on a little bit more. But it's always good to come and check these things. You can see how much money's been spent. You know, there you go, $18,000 for that particular block. They normally have a rent status and then a commitment to how much money they're going to spend. Sometimes they're not very much, but yes. Anyway, let's kick off back out of here because there's so much more exciting stuff to see. You've got the Mindex. I do like me some Mindex. It's very geekage. I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to open this. Refresh announcements. I'm surely some of you guys are refreshing. So Javieron. This is absolutely full of information. It's all public. This is Javieron, he says. Let's say it takes a while. There we go. So, I want this. I'm desperate for this to update the stage 1 mining proposal. I want that to change to a stage 2 mining proposal, because that's going to have in it the environmental forms and the environmental documentation, which is where we get our mine plan from. And I know for a fact it's changed because it's so obvious it's changed, but we do not have a new version of the mine plan to compare to what they're doing. So from that point of view and having a little sneaky peek at space, it's quite annoying when you can see they're doing something and it doesn't match on the documentation that you have. And you're like, ah. So as you can see, it was just received on 10th of December 2020 and it was decided on the 23rd of December 2020. And yeah, and if you come into that, you can then get access to the document. You go to GeoDocs, which gives you the PDF. So it wasn't available the other day. Have to wonder why. Ooh. Surely not. Would they really be that stupid? Like, I just, the other day, there was nothing here. I was like, oh, that's a shame. Because I check quite frequently. Not every day. Maybe once or twice a month. Huh. We have many ways of making this work. Just have to remember how to do this. Maybe this is where I realized that it didn't work. So maybe it's there, but it's not. Shh. It looks like it's yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to play ball, does it? Not at the moment. Okay, so that could be it there. That could be the new mine plan that's currently locked. Anyway, let's come back here because when you drill down into all of this, it's just, I don't know, just there's just so much information if you're prepared to sit and sift through it all. That it's in the Yena Basin. It tells you where it is. It tells you where to go look. It tells you to go and look at the 250k map sheet of the Patterson Range. It tells you that there is gold, copper, zinc, lead, and silver because this is what's been reported to them so far. The target commodity is gold, the tenement. So this is our actual tenement that we've got until at least 2041. So it's at least 20 years straight off the bat there, no questions asked. As far as the Department of Mines Petroleum, we've got this, and this is only for an exploration decline, by the way. This isn't an actual formal mine. This is an exploration decline until 2041. Make of that what you will. Quick refresh. No. If you're in CNU, there's a dividend reinvestment plan. Who even knows what they are? Come on, Newcrest, get your fingers out. Resource estimates. We still don't have the air on. Oh, the camp. There's not going to be one for the camp, is there? So we've got 3 for the underground. So there's the current version of the underground. I like the fact there's 7 groups and there's only 5 listed. What are the other 2? Speculation. So these are the 2 tenements. So East 45 4701 was actually the Scallywag tenement because originally the Scallywag tenement actually included Javieron. So they had to break them up. They took the 12 blocks of Javieron, which then became and what did it become? I think actually it remained the same. I'm pretty sure it was East 45 4701. Which just confused the issue, basically. But now we've got M45 1287, which is the 12 blocks in the mine, M for mine. Which is always good. Resource estimates, so there's the information. This will get updated very, very soon in December. And this is all details we've got. So, and it's just honestly, guys, it is absolutely full. I mean, punta formation. Like, I get excited when I see that word because it's a big word. And Magic likes to say it a lot, of the Punta formation. So I'm kind of hoping at some point we'll get some updates on here. You kind of hope. Here's all of our here's all the reports that they've made. So these come from the RNSs that we get, which is, it's just notes basically. There's your first one. So yeah, that's the mine decks, and you could literally just go looking for it, or sometimes it's hard to find. See, now I've broken it. So now I think you have to go back to Javieron. Javieron. Patterson, Greatland Gold. Nine sites. Oh, that'll do. Saddle Reefs. So there's not so much been updated on jury. There's not so much been updated on these because the information is new. So there's information on Blackbeard and London's been updated. Kraken. So there's only, it says 5, but actually gold, silver, and copper. And so yes, that's essentially what you're looking at there is all that information. So please come and hang out here. You can get so much information from this. You know, it's not the most intuitive, but it contains all the data you need, and there is so much more to look at. Now, the other thing that I don't often check, but I sometimes have a skeet being look, is not on here. So we type in Wardens Court WA. Refresh announcements, in case you're all looking at it and I'm not. I'm gonna be like, because I'm running without a producer today, I'm gonna be like the last person to know that there's documentation out, aren't I? So the view the Wardens Court listings, Central Law Courts, and literally I just Control F and Greatland Gold, because at some point we're gonna have to be on here for any hearings that we have in regards to, I don't know why you see there's nothing. Yeah, so these are all the courts that are going to go in front of the warden to have the objections heard. So, and as you can see, there's quite a few of these. Looks like FMG Pilbara are just staking everything at the moment, doesn't it? So Central Law Courts of Perth is where our East 45 region gets heard. The one that I am struggling to nail down is I want to say Patterson Range East, but it's not Patterson Range East, it's the other one. It's the one that is 100 miles. By 100 miles, I mean like 1,000 miles south. Oh, what's it called? Come on, it's on the end of my tongue. Newmont. I know you're all saying it, probably typing it in there, is it? Ernest Giles. Look at that. That's an absolute peach, isn't it, when you look at it like that? So this is all of ours. All of this staked. So quite clearly, Sean loves what he's seen here, and they have staked the entire anomaly that is sticking up, including this little bit out here. And anyway, so much so that this is what we've already got, and this entire area here has now been, one of these is already there and the other one isn't, but essentially it's been objected, which you kind of like, yeah, okay, saw that coming. But it's an East 38. Is it East 38, Ernest Giles? It is, look, East 38 3612. So maybe what we do is we go and have a look. And, well, basically, East 38, I'm not quite sure what region that comes under. It comes under one of the regions, and it doesn't meet very often. That's the other thing. So it's going to take forever for it to even be heard. So we need to find out what area East 38 comes under. Don't think it comes under Central Law Courts, though. It comes under something else. I was looking at it recently, but couldn't find it. But anyway, I mean, that's that. I mean, there's not really too much you can say about that, is there, really? We've had a look at that. You then got the decisions. So when they have been done, you can have a look and see what the decisions are and what's been said. So, yeah, that's all exciting stuff, if that's what you want to call it. And then we've got L2. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about while I was looking at those kind of things. So yeah, I mean, this is L2. This is where we see all the daily stats every day. Someone says, get me L2, and I'll just take a screenshot, and that's how we do that, see? And then it ends up ping, copy, paste. Well, we've already copied it. That's now in the clipboard, and paste, and you have it. It takes a matter of seconds to grab your screenshot. It's interesting that these have actually now turned to buys. They weren't anything earlier, but they have now become buys. So the timing is interesting, though, isn't it? Yeah, that's kind of it. I kind of hoped that by now I'd have some documentation to talk about. I've not broke out the how far back. No. I don't know, but now we're getting into the thick of it. So I would start refreshing, crash the servers, boys and girls. Maybe it's now. Maybe it's 10. Maybe I've been on air an hour already. My cup of tea's got cold. Fun fact: I've drunk nearly 600 cups of tea so far this year at home. Don't know if that's I don't know if that's worth it or not. I'm just going to come back here, by the way. 600 cups of tea. It's quite crazy, really, isn't it? When you look at it, think about it like that. How many cups of tea and coffee do you drink every year? So anyway, Pre-FS. I'll tell you what we should do, actually. Let's really get into some boredom. Let's see if we can get rid of some listeners and some watchers. And let's bring up the JORC code. You're scraping scraping the barrel for content when you're bringing up the JORC code to talk about the JORC. Pardon me. Oh, they're coming thick and fast now. Oh, Thor. It's broken. Thor have announced some drilling at Ragged Range. There's a company called CBA here. Well, I'm reading that as can't be asked. Red. Is that Red Rock Resources? Red. Grade control drilling commences at King of the Hills. Who comes up with some of these names? I might have to become a mining area namer. That sounds like a fun job. I want that when I retire from my bazillions of Greatland gold shares. Not really. And TCS has started to... There's all sorts going on today. Come on, Newcrest. Don't foul me now. In fact, if this comes up at 22.24, I'm going to be sitting pretty. Not that there was a competition on this one today. Anyway, we were going to look at the JORC code, weren't we? Remember how to work this document. I think I have to come in here and then share screen. One, please. Are we sharing? Here we go. JORC. That's not fun. The word feasibility was supposed to work, but there's no... How many of these do you reckon I'll have to go through to find the pre-feasibility stuff? Just my luck that I bring up the JORC, and turns out the JORC isn't. The pre-feasibility study has nothing to do with JORC. Hilarious. Let's have a look at. Oh, maybe it's under technical studies, because that's essentially what it is, isn't it? God, we're getting into it deep here, aren't we? Look at all this. Da da da. See, I suppose this all comes down to Christmas, doesn't it? Oh, I say Christmas, like the inferred and the indicated. I was lucky that came up just in the nick of time and measured. I was hoping for a little bit more help on what would be in a pre-feasibility study, but I'm guessing under JORC doesn't really matter. Save me, Newcrest. Save me. Save me. All right, calm down, LYC, with your 4. I mean, that's not greedy at all, is it? Look at this. Look, 4. Oh, WSR. They're now drilling at Mount Finity project. So, yeah. Fun. They're coming out now. Oh, look. What's going on here? Doesn't bloody work. Hang on. DDH1 and SWIC to create world-leading mineral driller. Why won't you work, damn you? Open link in new tab. Not found. Computer says no. Oh, because they're acquiring SWIC. Oh, cool. So DDH1 are growing. In fact, look, it's all there. You can see it. Anyone got any shares in SWK? SWIC? Never heard of them. But even so, they can just send them to us. That's fine by me. Come on, let's do this. I'm not going to sit here for the next 25 minutes just hitting the refresh button, and then that's the entire length of our content. That wouldn't be fun, would it? No, not at all. Bottle. So, not quite else. Let's come back to me. Sorry, you have to look at me now. Yeah. So, I promised myself, and I'm not going to, that I'm not talking about anything that came up today in any of the chats. I'm not interested in any of the speculation, and price action can go fish as well, frankly. We want to see what's coming up in this pre-feasibility study and what it means. I mean, the key thing that people need to know is this document coming out is an element of risk. It reduces the element of risk. So when you look at risk factors in the broker notes, this is now what's being reduced. The risk is coming off, and the risk of it not being a mine is becoming minimal. And yes, there is. I was thinking about this in the shower of all places, but there is a chance, and it's a micro chance. It has to be a micro chance, because they wouldn't be doing what they were doing. I'm pointing my pence at you for, but there has to be a chance, or there is a chance, that Newcrest could turn around and say, well, actually, boys, this isn't worth it. Now, what on earth they would have to find for it not to be worth it, I don't know. I'm not sure. I've got my hand on. I've got some throws for my plane. I'm not sure. Short of they're finding a dragon under there or something. That it would have to be something seriously significant for them to go, no, we're not interested, or no, we can't, or no, we don't want to. I thought that was it then. An XM on a proactive webinar presentation. I was like, oh no, they're just teasing us. Just teasing us. We're into the thick of these coming out now. Yeah, so the risk is coming down now. This is it at this point. If you've done a pre-feasibility study and you're happy with it, and you're going to go ahead and do your feasibility study, whilst you've not technically yet made your decision to mine, because that doesn't happen until after the feasibility study, you're not going to spend millions upon millions of pounds doing the feasibility study if you didn't think it was worth it. So this is where you start to see all your early institutions taking their positions. Now, it might not mean that tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, 8:05, you get, I don't know, let's just call it 500 million shares go through of buying because an institution has pulled the trigger. But what this will now allow them to do is talk about it. There might be some that Sean's already arranged to come in really, really early. And let's hope they do, because it's going to help us, because they're going to want our shares and we ain't going to sell them. In which case the share price will have to go up until we get to a point where someone does want to sell them. That's how we create value. Then you have to look at just refreshing. Come on. And yeah, that's 24, by the way. Boo. That's my time. Then you have to, so they're going to start to have meetings about having the meetings that talk about, shall we have a meeting to invest in Greatland Gold? So that's all going to be happening over the next quarter, isn't it? Maybe it's something that happens at quarter end or the start of the quarter. So, that makes that a really interesting time, because come the end of the quarter, you've got a GDXJ rebalance happening. And they're going to have to change what they're doing, because if our share price now stays where it is, at least, or increases somewhat, they're going to have to rejig their logarithm, because our market cap has increased rather a lot. Is it 800 million now, our market cap? Has it gone up a few hundred mil? I can't remember. I'm not very good at this kind of thing. I leave it to others who know what they're talking about, which quite clearly I don't. So, they can spend the money, and then we can start getting some people taking some serious stakes in Greatland Gold, and no more will be like, oh look, 1 million. Oh look, there's 2 million. I'd like to think that you start seeing some TR1s get filled. That would really, really help the company at this stage, and not in a speculation kind of way. UBS, HSBC, or the Bank of Canada, or any other of Lloyd's Bank, if they've got an arm that does invest in this kind of thing, where they take just 250 million shares and they just stick them in their inventory. Maybe we end up on a few more ETFs. I don't know. I don't think we're quite ready for the GDX yet. I still think that's too early. I still think that the whole mining part of it is the important part. Actually taking ore out of the ground. I could be wrong. Something like that would be amazing, because they're going to buy more than the 268 million shares that the GDXJ own, because it's a far bigger fund, and they could take 400 or 500 million easy. I think I shouldn't do maths. I shouldn't be allowed to do any kind of maths. I should just be banned from any of it. So it's exciting. It really is. We're now on this path of more unknowns again. You've seen it change in the room, in the Telegram group at least. over the last 3 or 4 days. Wednesday was a dire day. There was nothing going on. Somebody posted, "Oh, look, new low for the year." And the trades were slow. The chat was slow. There was nothing going on. And all of a sudden, Thursday night rolls around. We have a joke about someone staying up for an announcement. We didn't think there would be an announcement. I don't even know what made us think there would be an announcement. I think was it because it was the 31st? Was it the 30th? It was the 30th of September. And they announced we're doing it on the 12th. Oh, no. No, they were late, weren't they? I don't know. See, I can't remember them bloody dates. Chance I've got doing maths. But anyway, they announced it, didn't they? Wednesday night. So it must have been the 6th into the 7th. Because the 7th and 8th, it's like 5,400 trades in 2 days. That's a lot of shifting of shares. And when you look at the whole, oh no, wrong document. We don't want that one. We just had that one. Boo. Pinned. Deep dive. This will hurt your eyes. So I've got data for every trading day since the 14th of December. This is my big document I update every day. Well, I say every day. At the moment, it's once a week. I wished I'd kept collecting data between October and December because I had actually done 3 months' work prior to this, but it was taking me an hour to do every night. But as you can see, these are your big days down here. I'm actually broadcasting this. No. See, I've opened this up and I'm not even broadcasting it. Hang on. You're still looking at me, aren't you? Sorry. Refresh announcements. Come on, Newcrest. Not yet. All right, maybe what I'll do is I'll put that on that page. Oh, no, you know what I should do? I should put that on that page. Good job this ain't live, folks, isn't it? And then on there, so I'm not used to using this. Share screen and that one, please. Share. Okay, here we go. See, now you can see it. So this is all of my data that I've collected since the 14th of December. And as you can see down here, here's your big 2 days trading. So the most of the trades were done on Friday, which I think, given the average trade count, so that's average volume, so that is an average number of shares per trade. That is just literally the number of trades. We take the volume and divide it by the number of trades. That gives you this figure here. As you can see, the day before, that number was significantly higher at 29,000. Now, we had on the 16th and 17th of December, for some reason, a big... Oh, maybe that was GDXJ, maybe, because look, the 94 million shares there that have clearly been sold because that's down by 9%. And I think I might have alluded to this earlier when I was talking about the share price. This average trade price is the price number that I keep my eye on, because to me that shows me where the trend is in terms of the buying and the selling. It's all right. You've got these, what the market makers are up to with their lows and their highs, but with this average trade price, there is a little bit of lag, and you can kind of see this pattern forming. I mean, there was a period where it was 4 days of selling to 1 day of. Here it is at 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Oh, sorry, 3 1 3 1 4, and then we had 3 up, and so the kind of it's just good for that, really, from my point of view, to help visualize. So as you can see, we've come down, 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 down. Then we stalled at 1597, and then 3 days of down. So we got down to 1562 on the average price, and then we've jumped bosh, which interestingly enough has come back at 18% on both days. So, but you can see that the average trade price has changed. Refresh the screen. NCM. No. Come on, Sandeep, you're killing me, my friend. I gotta go for another hour and a half yet. Oh man. Brew. Yeah. So to me, it kind of helps to see who's trading. Sometimes you can have a flurry of trades, but this average volume and the average price paid are really quite low. So as you can see here, this 2544, that's a nothing day. That's just PI. Look, average volume 16,000. Average price paid. That's just PI. You know, the money is so low. I mean, like even the maximum trade was only 350,000 for the day. But then you can get other ones that kind of just flash up. There you go. This is a day of that 20 million. Their average volume 55,717. You can tell that's chunky as, isn't it? Really. And in fact, what someone has suggested is that a sell, and then is this the buyback? Is it the buyback? In which case, could it be? And this is just conjecture at this stage, because I don't know. I'll just make it up as I go along. But could that be BlackRock? Could BlackRock? I mean, if you go back to the 20th of September, what was happening? That was about the same time as Evergrande, wasn't it? So could BlackRock have, or someone like BlackRock, had to have shifted, needed 20 million? I mean, 20, I don't know, it's 15 million gone out there. So you could quite easily say 10 million. Have they needed 10 million to pay for something on the quick, or to cover something? So the 10 million comes out, they use it for something else, and then they would to buy it back. But actually, not only have they bought it back, but have they bought it back with interest, or are there multiple parties buying? Someone has. But the majority of the damage was done on Thursday because the average trade price. So whoever it is was very quick off the mark. And then, you know, that is above average. Whereas when you look at the 23 for Friday, that pretty much, that's below the 60-day average, the 30-day average, and below the 5-day average. So that's my take on it. That's how I see it. You know, that's my window on all of it. So anyway, maybe what we should do now is pull up Telegram, because I genuinely am not even looking at it. I don't even know if anyone's even looking. If anyone's got any questions, right, on Telegram, please I'll ask away. I don't even know if you're watching. Don't even know who's watching. You might have all turned off. Oh no, we've got a few more by looks things. Anyone got any questions on Telegram? Please let me know. No, I guess. Oh, Terry, I'm really sorry to hear that, my friend. My girls have got it at the moment, and I wish you well if you're listening. I do wish you well, sir. Nothing yet. We're watching Bottle. Well, have you got a question for me? Thank you, BD. Have you got a question? Come on, fire some questions at me. We've got to keep the show going. No, thank you. Oh, I see. So that must be the lag. That must be the minute and a half lag. So it's 22:37 on my clock right now. Frank White's now watching. So if you can see how that is, I've said that so that comes up. But yeah, please do ask a question. I need your questions. Hey, 5th of November. I don't know what's going on 5th of November, but I have to remember that because it's my win anniversary day. So yeah. Moxie's typing. Let's hope it's a question. Drum roll. Oh, man. The intensity. Ask listeners to answer the poll bottle. Oh, yeah. Listeners. Oh, not for another couple of hours yet, Andy Campbell. Listeners, let's stop screen sharing for a second. Stop share. Listeners. Give you the BDI. Have you looked at our poll? I ran it over the weekend. I'll tell you what, if you haven't looked at the poll, you're lucky that you didn't get removed. I might have removed a few people today. But actually, you would have been all right. But it's quite obvious who's checking their Telegram and who's not. So, but basically, we're running a poll at the moment. We are trying to work out how many shares, not necessarily like to the exact, and I might have done it wrong, and I might have to run the poll again at some point in the next, maybe the next quarter, because I don't have this. Someone that comes from how can I word this? As someone that comes from a council background, I don't have very high ceilings of expectations for things. So I just automatically assume that most people would have similar amounts of shares to me. I know there's some big holders. I know who the big holders are, but you kind of figure that you'd cover them with your catch-all between 4 and 10 million, or 10 million, 25 million. Turns out that we have a lot more holders with bigger pockets than we anticipated. I say we, me, Stu, anticipated. So when we looked at the data, I mean, we've had over 500 people register on the vote, so thank you very much for that. When you start looking at it and taking averages and stuff, the numbers are staggering. Like, I worked it out. If we added up, if we took the average and we put ourselves Telegram onto the terminal, we're essentially second. That's a crazy. That just can't be right. That just cannot be right. There is no way that the 500 people have got that many shares between them. I mean, it's possible, I suppose, and we shouldn't put ourselves down. But as someone that comes from a council background that didn't really aspire to very much in life, I never set my bar that high. So I just assumed that most people would have similar to me. You know, no, it turns out I've loaded it the wrong way around. We should have actually put some more data points in at the top end to get a more accurate reading. So we may ask you again at some point to have a revote, just to ascertain, because basically if we can catch Sean's attention and say, look, you know, we do have, this is how many shares we have, let's get a one-on-one. Sit down, come into my office. I want to talk nonsense. I want to talk real stuff as well. I want to interview him and then ask him some very serious questions. It helps if I read the questions as they're coming through. What's this coming through? Oh, refresh the screen. There's the document. Do we have a PFS? Newcrest. Hang on. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Share. That's so much quicker than trying to do it. Initial ore reserve estimates for Javier on 14, 3.7. I can hear Bamps yelling, slow down. So Lear's carrying Bokovic, Cadia, and Javier on's third on that one at the moment. Copper. Hey, look at that. Lots of copper to start with. Look, Look, 22. They're expecting to get ore out next year, if that's what I think that is. Oh, capex. No, that's spending money. You donkey. All right. There is so much information here that I'm trying to ascertain. Is it... Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. Is that even Javier on? That must be Javier on. Okay. Okay. The PFS is considered to represent a conservative interim or stage 1 case, as the Javieron PFS currently considers only the indicated mineral resource, which is a small portion of the existing resource inventory, and it excludes inferred mineral resources. Ongoing infill drilling as well as further study work is expected to increase. This, with continued exploration success, the project, sorry, that's my daughter, could increase in scope and scale from 2 MTPA megatons per annum. An enhanced development option for Javieron considers increasing mining rates to 3 megatons per annum or higher compared to the 2 megaton per annum assumption upon which the PFS has been based. I hope you can still keep up. Further resource growth might also support the use of alternative mining methods, which may lower operating costs. Some of the upside potential from Javieron is illustrated in the diagram below that shows the current initial mineral resource on which the PFS is based relatively to the total mineralization target exploration areas. This does not include some of the potential association with the breccia zones and other new zones recently intercepted. There you go. Have some of that telegram. That is stunning. No one really wants to talk about Telfa unless... No. Okay. Key milestones. Javieron Q2 of F... so quarter 2, gate feasibility study to execution, with the first ore of the first half of financial year 24. Okay. We need to find the document, potentially, that Javieron's PFS, blah, 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 blah. Can anyone... Sorry about the quietness. An NPV of 228. That's a big figure. That's a figure that I know is important. And in fact, that is so low compared to everybody else's NPV. Net present value. Oh, maybe that's why. Having completed the pre-PFS, Newcrest is now entitled to 70% interest in the Javieron joint venture. The Javieron PFS has been prepared on the basis that Javieron is the sole ore feed for the Telfer plant and does not assume any potential upside from life. I love the fact that everyone's posting, and none of you are checking to see what. What were all these links? I'm going to ask that question. Are they the same document? Please check before you post. It is kind of a, I don't wish to be rude. There's a new one, right? I'll open up then, Dip. And we'll look at Dip. Dip's just posted another link. There's links all over the show, but we'll open up this one and see what comes up. Don't ruin it for me, Andy. Don't ruin it for me. Still waiting for it to load, isn't it? It's the PFS. Well, I'd hoped so, without trying to sound too sarcastic. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. That really does sound sarcastic. I apologise. Can you all stop downloading it, please, so that I can get a copy so I can carry on my live YouTube stream? Thanks very much. I'm just crashing my own party. Charlie, you're ruining it for me. I'm just now typing on Telegram because it's stalled loading. I can't load it up, so quite clearly the whole thing has come to a complete halt. So please, thank you very much. Cheers, JC. There we go. Ta-da! No, that's not the one. Is it? Oh, I've already looked at that one. I want the Javiera one, please. Thank you. No, that website sucks. Here it comes. 9.4, 10.8, bang. Thanks very much. Javier on PFS Stage 1 delivers solid returns and base for future growth. PFS Stage 1 estimated IRR of 16%. I don't know what IRR is. If someone can please put that into the comments, I'd appreciate that. With a 4-year payback period. Estimated average gold production of 160 kilo ounces per year with an all-in sustained cost of $743 per ounce. Oh my gosh, that's really, really good. That is less than $800. That's amazing. Over an initial 9-year mine life. Capital efficient, low intensity development using existing Telfer processing infrastructure. It is based on reserves of 14 megatons and does not consider the 37 megatons of inferred resource. So it really is a fast start. So the market might take a bit of a shit with that one, but does it matter? Because we need to get to the ore as quickly as possible. IRR, by the way, is initial rate of return of 16%. So that's good. Obviously, we know that the upside from here is absolutely massive. They've already started the feasibility study, and I mean, they can upgrade at any time now. Absolutely upgrade at any time. And they hope that it will be finished by 22, so another year away for the feasibility study. Oh, gosh. Sandeep said, it is an incredible achievement that within 2 years of starting the Javier drilling program, we've been able to deliver this significant project milestone and demonstrate financial returns that comfortably exceed our hurdle rate. Even in this first stage, the pre-feasibility study underpins an initial ore reserve estimate for the upper section of Southeast Crescent Zone, which increases our confidence in achieving first production of financial year 24 and triggers our entitlement to the cumulative 70% joint venture interest. We believe this is the first stage of a bright and profitable future for Javier. Our extensive drilling program continues to assess the extent of the Southeast Crescent Zone and further test the northern and eastern breccia for mineralization, which may be suitable for bulk mining methods. We have recently delivered several new and exciting high-grade intercepts. Hell yeah, they have. To extend the higher grade mineralization beneath the initial mineral resource estimate and highlights the potential for further resource growth. Notably, the study assumes that Javier is the sole ore feed of Telfer plant and does not assume any potential upside from the extension of Telfer's mine beyond financial year 24. We continue to assess the potential for further nice to see you. Nice. We continue to assess the potential for further open pit and underground opportunities at Telfer to extend its life and supplement production from Javier in financial year 24 and beyond, said Mr. Biswas. I mean, 9 years, an average grade of 3.7 grams per ton. Oh, not to mention 73 kilotons of copper, which is just a lovely life of mine. I mean, I don't necessarily understand what all this means, but I would say that is a start. Interesting. Oh, I see Australian 990 announce. US 743. Total cost of capital expenditure is $397 million. Initial rate of return is 16%. Paid back off in 4 years. Wow. Net present value of millions of tons per annum. Thank you. DK, thank you. That you'll probably get that in like 3 minutes after you've posted that, but thank you. Net present value of 228. See, there are so many calculators that we can now update. If you've got a calculator that needs figures, here they are. I mean, this is the important part now. We can really start to... I wouldn't be disappointed. I mean, I was expecting it, to be honest with you. I knew it wasn't going to be that big. Is there anything on there? Here we go. So, I mean, yeah, what was the pre-feasibility study? It was 3.2, wasn't it? We're only going for 2.1. Am I reading that right? Am I reading that right? I think I am. I could be wrong. It's just a shame there's such a lag between what you're seeing and what I'm seeing. So yes, what was 3.2 MTPA, I think, or 4.3 equivalent? Is now 2.1. So that is significantly lower, but we knew that. That was a fast start. Ignore the numbers. We just need to get the damn document done so that we can push in and so we can push in. I mean, that's the important thing, isn't it, really? Is that let's get the words of let's I mean, there's so much in this document anyway. It needs a proper, decent read. To be honest with you, it's going to need a proper, deep read. I love that image. I just got to start looking at all the documents, all the images. I just quite like this. Look. I just highlight, paste. Gosh, there you go. Multitasking. Who says I can't multitask? I'm just going to delete that, Jonathan Webb. I'm really sorry, but we don't need to scaremongering. Not today. Sorry, I've just deleted a message from Telegram. No, I definitely deleted it. Take a hint. Please don't post it. Done the dirty. What a load of crap. We knew it was going to be small. Don't try and make out like it's something it's not. Oh, look at that. See, this is what we need to see, is how they're going to mine it. That's all we're interested in. I am now just looking at all the pictures. Indicated gold resources. See, I don't necessarily know enough about it, and I am happy, Ashley, I am happy, even though I've just said I don't know what I'm looking at. I still think it's good. I still can't see how people expect this to be amazing results when we've known for the last 2 months this could be a fast start. They are doing nothing else but giving us access to the ore body to get to the gold. Because at the end of the day, even though there might be 20 million tons down there or whatever, you're not going to get to it for months anyway. You're not going to get to it for years. You know, we can only get to these bits at the start anyway in the next 2 to 3 years. So rather than spend the next goodness knows how many months to years drilling the whole bloody thing out. Sorry, that post that's just been deleted twice off of my Telegram chat has actually annoyed me with someone saying it's bullshit and that Newcrest has done the day. No, that's just you not thinking about what you're reading and just has angered me. That's actually really pissed me off. You know, I just, yeah, that's infuriated me. That, like, we knew it was a fast start. I don't know how many times I had to say this is a fast start. It is not going to be massive. It's not going to be as big as you're hoping it's going to be. All right. But shit the bed, hold on to your hats in December, because then we're going to get the full story of what's going on and how bloody big this thing actually is. You know, this is the part where they turn around and say, well, actually, this is what we've got so far. And SAS, thank you. Just how many times do you have to tell people for them to listen? Like, there you go. You just had a heads up that I'm about to rant. It's frustrating is what it is. Just frustrating. Just right. So, quite clearly, I am lacking here in certain technical aspects. I get that. That's why there is likely not many of you watching anymore. Frankly, I can't blame you. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't tune in to me either. But we have ourselves a pre-feasibility study. We have ourselves an amazing ore body, a vertical ore body that is absolutely massive, that is absolutely going to be one of the biggest mines in Australia, if not globally found recently. Oh, look, net smelt return values. I like the idea of that. Oh, I don't want to do that. No, go away. I just want to copy it and paste it. So, the Javier Honourable Reserve employs a value-based cut-off to determine from the net smelter return equal to the site operating cost included in the pre-feasibility study. Takes into account the revenue factors, metallurgical recovery assumptions, transport costs, refining charges and royalties. And the site operating costs include mining costs, processing costs, relevant to the site, general administration costs, and relevant sustaining capital costs. So these costs equate to a break-even cut-off value of approximately Australian dollars 130 per tonne milled. A staged approach for approvals has been undertaken, with Phase 1 currently approved, which has allowed the development of box cut decline service corridor. These approvals also allow for waste rock dump, evaporation ponds and supporting infrastructure, such as offices and workshops. So, Phase 2, this is the bit we need. This is the next bit. This is the bit I'm looking for when I am looking at the DMP website and the Mindex. Phase 2 approvals will consist of SLOS underground mine, permanent infrastructure corridor, associated infrastructure and changes to Telfer to accept the Javier on tailings and existing tailings storage facilities. Both Commonwealth and state level approvals with engagement well advanced with all regulatory bodies. The timelines outstanding and the PFS are considered achievable. A mine lease has been granted over the ore body. That's good. And miscellaneous leases granted along the existing service corridor. For Phase 2, they've actually added a new road. They are looking at a new road, which has the whole road, power lines and water pipes. Will not change it. And then you just look at the growth. I mean, the growth is going to be the biggest side of this. It's massive. So you get to convert the inferred mineral resource. I mean, it's open on the southeast crescent below the current mineral resource, where increasing grade and thickness of mineralization has been observed in recent drilling. Expansion of multiple higher grade targets within the main Javier and Northwest corridor, including Northern Breccia and Northwest Pod. Potential for additional Northwest trending corridors, including the Eastern Breccia, and potential to discover additional mineralization. Javier on North, Zipper, and Mecco. I just need to answer this question. No. Just nip that in the bud. No. And then we've got some drill reports, and we've got some lovely new maps to look at. Thank you. There you go. You can have some of that. And there's another one here, another cross section worthy looking at. There you go. You can have that one too. I'd love to know how far behind you are with these, by the way. Oh, look at that. Make some random noises, why don't you? That's like illustration porn. Sorry to your partners if they're watching. They don't need to hear me say the word porn. I'm sure there's plenty of information there that I'll read. Tables, costs. They've only used 1,300 an ounce for gold. It's interesting. State royalties are 2.5% for gold and 5% for copper after allowable deductions. It's good to know. Revenue factors. Interesting to find out what the state and Commonwealth statutory requirements are that are relevant to Javier on. That's interesting. It's good to see that we have that. I tell you what, though, the markets could get so shitty with this just because they can. Do you know what I mean? I think it's fabulous. I think that is perfect. It's exactly what we need. It's exactly what we need. And yet the markets just could go, no, we want the whole damn thing done. And that's essentially what it's going to come down to is we've got ourselves a fast start that's going to allow us to get to the ore body. So the first 120 meters. There's decline access. And so they're using an open stoping method that's conducted over multiple levels at once. Once the stope has been mined, it's backfilled with paste to maintain the overall stability of the opening and enable mining of adjacent stopes. This method is typically applied along straw or to strong ore bodies that require minimal support and surrounded by strong country rock, such as the Javier deposit. Stopes are mined in a checkerboard fashion with primary stopes followed by intermediary stopes. The mining sequence is top-down overall, divided into a number of different lifts, separated by horizontal sills, which are recovered after the upper and lower level have been mined and filled. Clever. Sub-level spacing of 50 metres, with seal drill levels located 20 mil below each mining front was selected. Some sub-level spacings are increased to 60 metres to accommodate inclusion of ore and minimising additional level development. Design consists of 9 semi-independent mining sequences based on both horizontal and vertical mining fronts. The horizontal fronts determined by the ore body orientations as outlined in Figure 4. And there is Figure 4. So they're actually going to drill, they're actually using the dolerite dike as the access. So they're going to use the axe, they're actually going to potentially use this as their, that's very quite clever really, isn't it? So there you go. See, I'm just looking at that decay. I don't know how far behind you are. Sorry, I keep going about that. I really shouldn't. But you say that share price depends on how SD puts it across. Genuinely think he's going to put this across as a positive, because it was 2 months ago. Say it again, that he said it's going to be a fast start. That any share price re-rate is going to come when he starts talking about his upgrade to his annual figures in December. So I think it's bloody brilliant. We've got an all-in sustained cost under $800. That's a start. And we're getting to the ore as soon as possible. If they waited any longer to make this pre-feasibility study any bigger, we'd have to wait, and you wouldn't be getting the ore out in 24. It would soon slip to 25. So I guess it's a case of you cannot have your cake and eat it. So just I don't know, it's hard to gauge really. But just I don't know, what do you guys all think? Honestly, I mean, like it's I was more pissed off by the lack of drills. Let's put it that way. I mean, that's the key. Glitterati's just said PFS is based on ore reserves of 14 MT and does not consider the 37 of the inferred. Like, are you kidding me? The next PFS is going to be absolutely massive. Come on. Who's getting their knickers in a twist over this? So what if the market shits itself? Let it. Just buy my bloody shares. Like, that's the bottom line though, isn't it? Really? Just, I don't know. You can tell that I am now just scratching around really for things to talk about. I'm trying to see if I can raise my boy Stu and get his reaction, because I think we need some Stu action. He said, if you need me, I'm here. I've just poured my first brandy. So, how many brandies have you had, Stu? So, Oh, I got another document come through. What's this one? Oh, thank you very much. Charlie has just sent through this documentation to me, which is the one that we're going to be shared with tonight. I tell you what, my friend, you do not know how you just saved this show from becoming a just. Oh, I see 30 of you have turned me off. I understand. So, this is the documentation that we have. Why would they not give us a decent bloody picture? I want to get an underground picture. Why does Cadia get an underground picture? Red Chris gets a picture of a bloody Canadian flag, but now we get the same one that we've had for the last. Brutal. I mean, it's just a slide. I must be the least qualified person to be looking at these kind of documents. If only we had Sandeep here. The production profile of Heavy Aaron does not include ore feed from Telfer beyond FY24. Is that why it changes, do you reckon? Because you've got Telfer in here and then it doesn't, and then it levels out. Who knows? I mean, that's such a key point, isn't it? The pre-feasibility study based on reserves of 14 and not 37. A 3 MTPA operation. That's a lot. For $400 million. I mean, what are the figures on that? Does anyone know what the actual figures are on that? Sorry, I'm just dropping this into my chat. So we're almost at 200 meters now, which is good. I'm just grabbing documents. Put them in chat. So, yeah, that is literally about as much as I can probably offer you there, really, for this evening. Having been on air for 2 hours. I've actually been on air for 2 hours. I hope we've got 45 minutes until the presentation from Sandeep. So it'll give me 45 minutes to get my head set and ready for his presentation. So I think now would be a great time to log off. I'm happy. This is going to be a mine. I mean, like, if that doesn't say mine, then I'm not sure what other flags we need now. This is going to allow people to invest. It's going to help people de-risk. I'm just frustrated at people's reactions, really. That's the part, isn't it? You can't help but think. I can't help but think about people's reactions to it. But I now need to go and download this document into my head and just make sure I've got these things straight. Because as you can tell, I do not necessarily fully understand what it is that I'm looking at. So whilst it's all right for me to sit here and talk, we really could do with someone a little bit more qualified than I to be talking about it. But I have my swaggy new background that I have worked out how to put up there, and I think it looks all right. I just never like the black. I think it's because it's There's nothing. I might change the colour there, but I even put a shirt on for you. I mean, I want to look proper. You can't do it up though. It doesn't do up. That's not good. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back at 12 o'clock tomorrow for a recap show. Whether it lasts for 3 minutes or 3 hours, I do not know. But based on what Sandeep says tonight, based on what Sean Day says tomorrow, based on what our own documents say when they come out tomorrow, I will be putting together a short recap snippets show for you. All right. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Here's to a good open tomorrow. And excited to see what these presentations come up with in the next few hours. So apart from that, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for the last 2 hours. I need to give my voice a rest because quite clearly I've done too much talking. Right. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash that like button. Smash the dislike button if you thought it was junk. And go vote on my poll because I want to know how many shares you got. It's none of my business, but it might mean we can get an interview with Sean Day. And that's really, that to me would be the icing on the cake, actually, to get an interview with him. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to ask him questions that you probably want answered, but I want to find out about Sean Day. I want to know who Sean Day really, really is. What football does he like? What football team does he like? What does he drink? Does he like to barbecue? Is he into gardening? Does he do chess? Well, who is Sean Day? I mean, that's the first question anyone wants to ask anyone when you want to find out about them. Isn't it really? Do you know what I mean? Just, who are you? Anyway, look, I'm waffling. I have no idea how to disconnect this from Zoom, this YouTube thingy. So anyway, I'm out. Good night. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye now.